世界のみんなとつながろう Bridges across world communities.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bridges Across World Communities, sponsored by NIA, the Nishinomiya City International Association. My name is Floyd.
And my name is Thelma. Each month, we provide practical knowledge for daily living and important information about disaster prevention.
This program is for English-speaking residents in the Nishinomiya area and is broadcast on the second Saturday of each month from 12 noon to 12:15.
This month's topic are Japanese workplace party culture and preparing for winter disasters.
And we have the second half of our interview with Mr. Imran Salim, originally from the UK and now living in Nishinomiya.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会です。Wow! Can you believe it's already December? Another year is coming to an end.
That's right, Thelma. And with the end of the year comes something special in Japan, workplace parties. Now, today we'll explore the traditions behind these get-togethers like Bonenkai, end-of-year parties, and Shinenkai, New Year's parties.
Well, in Japan, gatherings with coworkers and supervisors are often called konshinkai. Now, these events are designed to encourage honest communication and build solidarity.
Now, Japanese culture places a high value on reading the room and maintaining harmony, which means people tend to avoid expressing their honest opinions during work hours. Now, workplace parties provide a relaxed environment where co-workers can speak more freely and even connect with colleagues and superiors they rarely interact with.
About a decade ago, this practice was given a name, nomyonication. Well, a combination of numu, to drink, and communication.
Wow.
Now, these parties were seen as essential for building workplace relationships.
Now, participation was almost an unspoken obligation in the past, but times are changing, especially with younger generations having different perspectives on work-life balance.
Yeah. Recently, there's been a shift in attitude, and many people feel that workplace parties are unnecessary. Some prefer to spend their time with family or want to maintain more of a work-life balance.
Also, the COVID-19 pandemic played a role. With people spending more time at home, perspectives shifted. Now, many companies are scaling back on these events, and sometimes to save money, too.
Still, in some workplaces, there's subtle pressure to attend, and skipping these events might lead to a co-worker perceiving you as unfriendly or difficult to approach.
True, but the key is balance. Now, building good relationships with colleagues is important, but forcing yourself to attend is not necessary. Open, effective communication during work hours can often replace the need for these events.
Now, whether or not you enjoy workplace parties, knowing the customs and rules can be beneficial if you decide to take part. Here are some helpful tips.
Okay, first tip, always arrive about 5 minutes early. Punctuality shows respect for the event and your colleagues. Now, seating is based on workplace hierarchy, so higher-ranking members sit at the back while newer employees sit closer to the entrance. Now, if you're unsure where to go, just simply ask someone, "Where should I sit?"
Well, after everyone has finished eating, it's often okay to switch seats to talk with a different group of people. Now, as the party continues and people drink more and the rules become less strict, but don't get too comfortable. Always remember, in a way, you're still at work.
And when it comes time to toast, never drink from your glass before the toast. And when clinking glasses with a senior colleague, make sure your glass is slightly lower than theirs. I didn't know that. Traditionally, the first round is beer for everyone. But if you don't drink alcohol, no problem. These days, non-alcoholic beer, tea, or soft drinks are often acceptable alternatives.
Yes, but even people who don't drink alcohol usually have some kind of beer for the first round and might just touch their lips to the glass without actually drinking it.
Another tip is pay attention to the people around you. Now, if you notice someone's glass is empty, especially as senior colleagues, offer to pour their next drink or ask what they'd like.
Yeah, good points. And here is an interesting one. The person organizing the event, called the kanji, will often arrives early to ensure everything runs smoothly. And don't forget to thank them after the party and the next day. It leaves a great impression.
Yeah.
And if the organizer or someone senior settles the bill for you, make sure to thank them directly right there.
Now, one more thing to note. Workplace parties are considered a casual space due to the alcohol and relaxed setting. So, be careful about what you discuss afterwards or the next day. Conversations or events from the party are not meant to be scrutinized or gossiped about at work.
Great advice. And before we wrap up, here's an important safety reminder. Never drink and drive. Whether it's a car or a bicycle, Japan's road traffic law has recently been amended with stricter penalties for violation. Stay safe and enjoy your celebrations responsibly.
Yeah, workplace parties can be a wonderful way to bond with colleagues, but it's all about finding what works best for you.
Absolutely. Now let's welcome the new year with good relationships and great memories.
7.7 Sakura FM.
And we'd like to welcome back Imran Salim for the second half of our interview.
Hi there.
Now, last month we kind of ended, you were telling us that you had 1 month to prepare, leaving England to come to Japan.
Yes.
And that was kind of a shock to all of us.
Yes.
So what did you deal with if you had a home there or renting, and how did you find a place here? How did all that happen?
Yeah, all pretty quickly. We found temporary accommodation, which we're still in the temporary accommodation for the first 3 months. We found a house now. Fortunately, my father is just retired.
Back in Manchester.
So he was able to help us take care of the house and clear it out. So we're going to Airbnb
nice.
The house now, and so hopefully that will help pay some bills over
so
here.
Has it been renting out pretty well so far?
Oh no, it's just going on the market now. So there's a few, because I was thinking about doing long-term renting, but then we decided just in case we need to go back, it's always good to have a house available.
Yeah, that's what you're planning, maybe to stay here for how many years?
Maybe 1-2 years would be our plan. Yeah.
And would you go back to England or?
So my wife's from Italy, so there's a possibility we could go back to Italy as well. So
which part of Italy?
Rome. Rome, south of Italy, where the climate is obviously much better than in Manchester. Yeah.
We were talking earlier, and you mentioned that you speak Italian, Spanish,
and English. Yes. And
so you must be picking up the Japanese so quickly.
Well, I learned Spanish and Italian when I was younger, so it was a bit easier then. And these days, because I'm working and I've got 2 kids, I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to studying. And I think Japanese is not a language you just pick up. You need to you need to study it and put in some real time to learn it, especially the different alphabets as well.
Yeah, well, I've been here 15 years and I haven't made a lot of progress. I just say, give up. Give up now.
That's great advice. No, but I'll learn some basics.
You're not alone,
to get by.
Now, what about hobbies? I mean, now that you're here in Japan, are you able to pick up some of the things you used to do, like on your off time when you weren't not working, weekends and things like that?
Well, just enjoying obviously the good weather. We come from England, where in the winter the weather's terrible, so there's a real outdoor life here, and there's you can do hiking. We do karate. I do karate with my children.
Did you do the karate before you came to Japan?
I didn't actually, but my kids did, and we found a sensei here in Nishinomiya who's actually from Mexico, but he speaks fluent English as well, and he's been in Japan for decades, and I've joined the class as well. So
I don't know much about karate, but one thing I know is about these colored belts, right?
Different belts, yes.
So what are your kids? What color?
They've had to start again from scratch in Japan because it's a totally different style and technique, but it's a good thing as
Did
well.
that piss them off a bit?
Yeah, they wanted to get there. They said, where's my green belt gone? Where's my purple belt gone? I'm back on white,
So now you play football. I guess that's not American football, the regular soccer football.
Yes.
So is there a team here you can join or
my
club?
kids go on Rocco Island. It's called the English Football Academy. So every Saturday morning we go down there, which takes us about 50 minutes by train. You have to take 2-3 trains to get there.
In the monorail, I guess.
Yeah, they do training and then they have matches as well. And some of the coaches are from England, and so it's a really nice.
What
nice
are the other
setup.
teams they play?
Local teams. Local teams. So they set up matches, and so there's a league going on as well. So
how about you? Are you able to join a league?
No, I'm not a football player, soccer player.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just spectating and trying to give some tactics to the children and some advice.
It sounds like your kids are having a really good time.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah, just to be in Japan is incredible, an incredible experience.
So besides the football, what else are your kids doing around, David? Or even you? What else do you do on the off time?
Yeah, I'm a DJ, so I like playing music. So I like mixing music. I don't have a job, but that's something I do in my free time. So I have a deck. I bought a deck here, and I do some music mixing. And
is that something you would want to do? Like
possibly part time. Yeah, possibly. But obviously with children, and we don't. I'm not really a nocturnal person. I'm quite a morning person, so that's more of a nighttime job. But yeah, why not? Why not? That's a good thing when you move to a new country, everything's kind of open again. You can try to do different things.
Can reinvent yourself.
Yeah, I run my business. I do a little bit of teaching initially to kids as well. So I like doing different things. Yeah.
I always hear about like Irish pubs and English pubs. Is there anything? Have you found anything like that to enjoy?
Yeah,
here?
There's a great Irish pub called the Wexford in Curraken, and there's a really nice owner as well. He's a musician, and he's very into music. Especially, he knows a lot about Manchester bands. He saw back in the 80s and 90s in Osaka, and it's a really good place for someone who doesn't speak Japanese as well, because the owner helps you find. He kind of sets you up with people in the bar, and so you easily, when you're in a new place, it's really helpful. So you can get speaking to locals as well.
It's funny. I mean, I don't live in that neighborhood, but I always hear that the Kawakuguchi area has a lot of foreigners. Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I've seen some. Also, there's a burger place called Flowers, which is downstairs below, which is a really good place, and I recommend them.
I got this. Might sound silly, but we're talking here, and I'm looking at you, and your name is Imran Salim.
Yes.
But you've got blue eyes.
Yes, so
what's going on?
I'm quite a mix. So my father was born in Pakistan, and my mother was born in Ireland, and they both immigrated to England in the 1960s.
Wow, that's going back. So
that's but where I'm from in Manchester is it's a very multicultural place, so you have a lot of people with different backgrounds.
Now, with your wife's from Italy, you're from England,
yes.
And your father from, it's
quite
international.
Family. Yes.
And I don't know the situation now, but with Brexit, it seemed like your options got narrowed for traveling or working in Europe, or even people from Europe coming to England.
Yes.
Has that affected you very much at all?
Not us personally, but it would affect people who wanted to live. If you want to go to live in England, Europeans before could go. They could go to study English in England and get a job in a cafe or a bar, but that's not possible now. That flexibility. So the freedom of movement has ended. So anybody who enters England now to work, they need a visa. But they can come temporarily to visit or to study. Is possible.
But you're Irish, right? So do you have a greater
freedom? I have an Irish passport as well, so which means I can still work, live on the continent. So I could find a job, I could buy a house anywhere in France, Italy, Spain. So that gives you.
So you're lucky.
Yeah.
We have very little time left, but we have an important question to ask. Do you want to ask him about?
Yeah. Do you have any Japanese? Do you have any favorite Japanese food?
Food.
Yeah. I love all Japanese food, and it's long before I came to Japan. I've always loved Japanese food. Although the Japanese food we find in England is not obviously not authentic as you'll find here, but I think it's tasty and it's very healthy. And I also have a gluten intolerance, so it's much healthier and lighter. And
it's good to know.
I'm glad we've got that cleared up.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Imran,
you.
and
Thank you
good
so
luck.
much.
Thank you very much.
Sakura FM
防災情報です。
When a disaster occurs during the cold winter months, you might not be able to use your home heating and cooking systems due to power and gas outages.
Besides storing food, water, and other items for a disaster during any time of year, we need to store additional items for a possible wintertime disaster.
That's right. We need to keep warm and be able to prepare hot meals.
Here's a short list of essential items to store for a possible wintertime disaster.
Number 1, outdoor cold weather gear like insulated coats, snowsuits, hats, scarves, and gloves. Also warm winter clothing like thick long-sleeve tops, long pants, and socks. You should have thick blankets or sleeping bags, portable heat packs called Cairo, and finally a cassette stove with plenty of extra fuel cylinders. Please take the time in advance to prepare for these disasters. For inquiries about city office services in English, please call the Nishinomiya Multilingual Call Center at 0798-36-5000.
For consultation services and any other inquiries, contact NIA at 0798-328680.
We hope you all had a great 2024, and we look forward to you joining us again in 2025. 提供は西宮市国際交流協会でした。
Have a great weekend, everyone.